Good morning,
Hello, hello.
all our favorite people. TC, Geeky, what's going on? Good morning, happy Monday. We're gonna chat about some changes. We want to start kind of optimizing our time a little bit better, and make sure that we're gearing for growth in a massive way. Morning, Red. But other than that, how was your weekend?
Good, good. Very good.
Excellent.
Yeah, yeah. What about yourself?
I worked. Had gigs every day.
Yeah, but that's good.
Yeah, again, I don't work at a gas station, so yeah, yeah, not mad. Busy though. Um, so yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
back
but it's good. It's good.
back to the
Being
stuff.
busy, it's always good. When you're not busy, it's a sign of something going wrong.
Absolutely, absolutely. Too
Yeah,
quiet is bad for
it's
sure,
bad. Yes.
for sure. Um,
Yes, yes, yes.
So yeah, I guess we'll just go over the new plan real quick. I also want to kind of set it up so I can make some fancy clips moving forward. We can have some stuff going out. We're going to change the weekly schedule for the show so that we're normally running Tuesdays and Thursdays. Right? Did I get that right? One.
Well, normally we're running every day, and we are moving to a 2 times per week schedule where we will only be streaming Tuesdays and Thursdays. Indeed.
Got it. Okay.
Yes.
This week's schedule is going to be a little bit different because we got a lot
Yeah.
of stuff going on. It will also be the case that if we, have, because I'm about to start, contacting a ton of projects on Ton. So if we end up having a situation where we have, more guests and we want to get them in quicker, then we can add shows kind of as necessary. But this is sort of the plan. It's basically going to be, I think freeing me up to do, a lot more reaching out and contacting and, all that kind of fun stuff. So this week, I think Wednesday is the turnover for the season. I think we decided. So we're going to do today, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yes,
Okay.
indeed. That's what we discussed. Indeed.
Boom. Got it right.
Yeah, and the idea is that we want to focus more on quality over quantity. I think that right now we are streaming every day, but some days we don't really have anything important to share with you guys. So being able to come here more prepared and try to have guests as often as possible makes more sense than coming here every day. And sometimes we don't really have anything of value to share. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why we are planning to move to these two streams per week schedule.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. I think it makes a lot of sense. It'll be good. It'll
Yeah,
be
yeah.
good.
And yeah, that should allow us to create more content and prepare more activities for the backstabber also.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I think it's definitely going to be a goal to. I want to get a lot more shorts up, which we can kind of create from this. Well, that's the other thing too. I was going to mention outside this, but all the videos you guys are putting on the Twitter machine are awesome. It would be great if we could set up like a Google Drive or something, so that I could get some of those and create some shorts out of them. Because then we can actually get them
you're
up on.
talking to me with that.
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we also wanted to create the shorts, but we don't have the credentials. But I think this is something to discuss not during the show,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah. No, well,
at
and
a different moment.
yeah, well, I wanted to mention it before I forget about it because I love all those videos.
Yeah.
They've been amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think one of the things I've been seeing anyway, they've got like and retweet missions, and of course, there's no confirmation on those. Hey, everybody, don't tell anybody that. But they can get massive traffic on some of these tweets that are put out there. And of course, we can start expanding some attention that way too. So yeah, I think it is, and they're good. They're great. So I think leveraging the content that you guys are creating is going to be really good. I like them a lot.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, I think that's that's important, and yeah, that's a little bit what's going on with these changes. So instead of the daily show, we will have uh, no twice twice a week show.
Yes. Yep.
Yes.
And again, if we end up meeting a bunch of new people and want to have more interviews and stuff, I'll schedule them in as needed for sure, which is
Yeah,
always
yeah, for
possible.
sure. If it makes sense, we go back to to an everyday schedule. But right now, I think it's we can do more if we only stream twice per week. I think we will be delivering much more to the community if we organize ourselves in a different way.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. Yep. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
that's gonna be good. And again, for anybody that's watching this later or what have you, I think that the most important thing this week, Wednesday is the end of season 2 or season 1. Sorry, where am I? Already
yes.
thinking about season 2. And you need to make sure that you've done the equip missions. That means you've equipped all of your like whole sets. You make sure they're at the right level. All of them basically will be. And make sure that gets confirmed. Confirming that you've done that mission will get you 50,000 points, but it will also get you listed for the airdrop. So that's going to be, you'll be able to get part of the tokens that are going to be coming out from that. And if you are wanting to get one of the tokens more than the other or what have you, you just keep upgrading the level on that one. And it'll actually increase the amount of that airdrop that you're going to get. And of course, other people are
Yeah.
welcome to do the same thing. And yeah, and I mean, like for me, I think I'm probably just going to go straight across the board. But like somebody might be really obsessed with the R1, the $1 to $1. So I mean,
The $1
you can rock and roll on that. Or Red or his brother might want way more AI gods so they can just keep dominating on the flip drives. By the way, Red,
yes.
we are gonna open it up just for the practice level. We want to make some significant changes before we start a new season on it. But these guys are just obsessed with practicing and creating new cards, and it's really fun. Anyway, so yeah, Chris and I talked about that. Just so you guys are aware of that. Yeah. Is there anything else?
Yeah.
Like I want to hang out and drink some coffee and shoot the shit. Maybe talking about some. I almost bought some more smoking chicken fish today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
Then I didn't because I
have
don't like
to be
where the
honest.
trip's at.
I also did.
You did too. That's
Yeah,
funny.
I got some more because I said, I don't have enough smoking chicken fish. I'll buy some more.
That's funny. I mean, in for a penny. I finally pulled my my bonk out of the steak and definitely lost money on that whole thing. So that's fun. But yeah, no, I'm kind of I want to deploy into those prediction markets now. Like I just like, yeah, you can sort of create some real informational alpha, maybe, because of course I could be completely fucking wrong. But that's sort of the it's interesting, especially in the context of our future and stuff. I did do a little bit of work yesterday. I got on the phone with on this, not the phone. Who talks on the phone anymore? With Tuttle for a minute on creating a little system of hopefully self-evolving AI agents that are going to predict whether the price of Bitcoin will be up or down tomorrow for reasons.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You know that's one of the worst things that you can try to predict.
Why is
Because
that?
it's something that you cannot really predict because the prediction itself affects the price. The moment you predict the price, you're already affecting the price. So it's one of the things that normally when you have a quant fund, that's one of the things that you always avoid. Trying to predict the price. You never
I'm not trying to predict. I'm not trying to predict the price. I'm just trying to predict if it's going to be up or down.
Oh yeah, but yeah.
Same kind of thing,
different,
basically.
But it's same kind of thing. Those are the things that you don't predict when you're trading and you're having a quant fund.
For the record, I don't think it's going to work, but I wanted to see if I could do it anyway. And really, like sorry, finish that.
What you have to predict normally, it's not a price, not the move up or down. What you try to predict with AI when you're using an automated trading strategy is if your strategy will succeed or fail. That is something that you can predict without interfering on the result. But if you try to predict a price, or if something is going to go up and down, you're already messing up with
So
everything.
how does it mess with, like, I can sort of see if a hedge fund was doing that, they might be able to, like, my opinion on it is not going to leverage the it's not going to affect the system in any way.
If it's
Like
only
at
your
my
opinion,
scale,
no.
right?
But if you're going to place an order based on that, you're affecting the price.
Right. Again,
That's the point. Yeah,
with my
if it's
dollar
only
of
your
Bitcoin,
opinion,
right?
because
Yeah.
but yeah, exactly.
I
If
honestly,
you're
I
not doing
only
it, you're not affecting the price. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, I mean, and for me, you know, you got me thinking about it for reasons that will become, you know, clear down the road, hopefully very soon. But what finally sparked for me, because I've had this idea in the back of my head of, you know, a set of self-evolving AI agents you sort of task on anything. And it just suddenly kind of became clear, if I can make it work for this test case, again, like whether it works or not kind of doesn't matter. But I hope it does, right? So now it's, you know, 5 agents are going to try and predict whether it's going to be up or down the next day based on different information settings and different prompt settings. And I'm going to feed some headlines into it or whatever, right? I do that every day. And I mean, they're going to get scored. They're basically going to have ratings. There's going to be like an evolutionary thing. 2 of them are going to get kicked off every tape, like, right? So it's just sort of setting up this environment where, you know, whether it works or not, I could start playing around with the idea that you can have a set of agents on a specific task, but then create a situation where they're set to automatically evolve every day. I've wanted to build that for like other stuff for a long time, just to see if I could do it. And just because you were like, okay, there's just one little thing that you could sort of try to predict, which again is absurd and probably won't work or whatever. But then I started kind of fucking around with it.
It depends what's the goal, because if the goal is trading and making some money on that, don't predict it. It's that there are don't try to predict the price itself. There are better things that you can try to predict that will give you a more accurate more profitable way of using that information.
Right. Well, and like to your point, you know, and I'd love for you to actually talk more, if you're want to be open about like the quant stuff, because it's super fascinating, and I know very little about it. But I think with this particular system, like that, where I had to cut it off because, you know, I asked GPT for all the possible data differentials or data points that you could do on Bitcoin. It gave me a list of like 600. It wasn't 600, but it was a lot, right?
Yeah,
and every one of them is super interesting.
With when you are developing quant strategies,
yeah,
the less parameters you
the
use,
better, probably,
the better.
Right?
Yes.
Right. So
when you have these 600 data points, what will happen is that you will fit your No, it's not noise. You will make a perfect fit of the strategy that you are developing for past data. So it's very unlikely that it will work with future data.
That's
because
interesting.
It's so tuned to match what already happened that it won't be able to work with new data. It will fail miserably.
That's interesting. Yeah. So one of the things, I haven't done it yet, but it's set up to do it. Right now, it's like sort of just operating on, you know, doing a very basic numerical analysis of the last few days of Bitcoin price, like not a big deal at all. But that's like on the data side, right? And, you know, it's creating new system prompts, right? It's basically like iterating on the system prompts that were the best successful and the ones that whatever. It's basically trying to leverage the AI, like common unconsciousness of the whole thing, whatever. That's going to, you know, be fun or one or whatever. But it's set up now so that, you know, let's say I pick like, you know, 20, 30 kinds of those data sets. And then I would basically tell it, okay, you're only allowed to pick a maximum of 2, right? And so on this agent that we're going to call Juan, you know, it's going to pick, you know, 2 things of data, and it'll add that into the sentiment analysis, and then it'll basically be able to punch all that stuff forward. But, you know, with a list of, you know, and again, I have to figure out how to kind of run the API stuff on all that because I'm too stupid to figure it out now, which is why I put it way down the road. But like, you know, you can have a situation where you have evolving system prompts and evolving sets of data. So it's going to constantly, you know, every single day, it's going to kill 2 agents. It's going to add 2 agents, and it can go from this, you know, kind of collection of whatever kinds of, you know, data analysis it wants to, right? And then just constantly iterate because it costs nothing. Like, I don't care. Like, it doesn't matter. I just want to see if it works. But I think what you were saying is, I think, is even more interesting, and it'd be way past the complexity level that I could sort of hold in my brain. But if you had, and actually, I think Brad does this with trading strategies. Like if you could actually deploy, automated trading, or just something that can do kind of rote analysis. And I think there's Python libraries for this too, but you sort of run, each agent would get its own actual trading strategy. So not just like, here's your 2 data points, but it gets a trading strategy, and it adds in, sentiment analysis as like I don't know, like a potential edge thing or whatever, and then run those combinations ad nauseum and just let them evolve until, hopefully its accuracy was getting better. Now, granted, like I think everybody else is going to be doing this as well, which is going to fuck with the accuracy down the road. Hopefully not soon.
Well, I don't know if they are really doing that, because they already figured out that that doesn't work for exactly the reasons I told you, and that's why they don't try to predict the prices and trade like that. At least for what I've seen,
Okay.
they develop strategies, and they use AI, but never used to predict the prices. Only to assess on how to have better performance with the strategy that they have. And there are some guys doing some very interesting things with a parameterization that changes over time because of how the AI works. But the strategy is exactly the same, defined by a blood and flesh analyst. And the AI only helps by fine-tuning the parameters of that strategy, which should be, as I told you, as little as possible.
Right.
And they only tune that in an evolving way as time goes on to try to maximize the performance of the strategy. But yeah, it's interesting.
It's interesting. I honestly, like, I just need to have some kind of way that isn't me just throwing a dart at the board to decide whether Bitcoin's going to be up or down tomorrow. That's all.
Yeah.
Am I overcomplicating something that is just going to be a fun little thing in a game? Fuck yeah, totally.
Well, I don't think you are overcomplicating it, but I think that here it's exactly the cases where I go back to my original statement. If you try to use AI and only tell AI, do this for me, it will fail. If you first learn how to do it, if you first have the theoretical basis of how trading works, what's the math that you should use, what are the probabilities of something happening, and so on, you will be better off when you use AI to support you.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm coming at it from the like the thing that I'm trying to do is not to make money with Bitcoin. It's to try and develop AI systems that are self-evolving.
Yeah,
that's my actual goal, right? So like that's again, starting from that, and again, they're either going to work or they're not, and that's going to produce interesting data.
But again, if that's your goal, then you have to first learn about AI at a certain level to be able to create a system that it's self-evolving.
That's very true.
And that's my point. And I have here TC saying better to just buy and forget. Yeah. And unfortunately, no, that's not the case. It's proven that buy and forget is one of the least profitable strategies. The thing is that when you don't know what you're doing with quant trading, and you haven't tested strategies in a good way, and you don't have profitable strategies that are running for a few years, then buy and hold will work much better. So if you don't have the knowledge of how to quant trade or even how to trade, buy and hold will be one of the most amazing strategies.
Right?
Yes.
Buy and hold is better than what most people do in trading, which is
exactly
which is buy high and sell low. So like as far as like if 90% of people are making the same error and buy and hold solves that, then great. And now are there better strategies? Inevitably, yes.
Yeah, let's be strict here with the language and then say that buy and hold is the best strategy for those who cannot trade profitably.
Which
it's more than 90% of the population, maybe even 99.
I was going to say I was trying to be generous.
Yeah.
Yeah, not everyone can be smart enough to buy chicken, smoking chicken fish at the bottom. I mean, that's just that's a thing.
That's called luck.
I mean, hey, don't shout a stick. What does that even mean? Shake a stick at luck, because
Yeah.
if you got it, freaking flaunt that shit.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so
Yeah.
when you're,
So
go ahead.
yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I
Because
just
I was
wanted to,
going back to a question of TC
yeah,
asking about the
do that.
R1 miners. So
Yeah.
yeah, so the R1 miners, the art is already there. I haven't created the NFTs yet, but we could start with that basically immediately. The reason I haven't moved forward with that is because I'm getting more and more into the strategy of how to have a very good use case for R1, an NFT based game that will create demand for R1, because I don't just want to start mining again and keep on sending the price to the bottom, to the bottom, to the bottom every day. So I'm going to give it a shot to make something that makes sense and that creates enough demand and buy pressure for R1. That said, I don't know if it will work, but it's taking a little bit more time than what I expected.
I'd rather you spend that time, because I mean the whole like, hey, release new miners, release new miners, release new miners. It creates a tiny little bit of demand as people buy it with the token or whatever, and
Yeah.
then people sell for a month, whatever, right? Like we've seen this. It's not new, and I think there's sort of interesting wrinkles. I really appreciate that you're spending the time to think about how to enhance that system in a more profound way, right? Like that to me is worth waiting for.
Yeah, and it might
There's some
fail. It
opportunity
might
there.
still fail, but I want to give it my best shot.
I like it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And by let, I mean, the NFT game idea, and that's well. And Maestro, I can't wait for us to see yours. It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
He's been working on some stuff. All right, that's not gonna work. Sorry, let's have something working over here that's gonna fail. Boop. All right. So you've been talking about the quant stuff a little bit.
Yeah.
Can you share sort of what you're most excited about, or what you're working on, like what you want to try and accomplish for that?
Well, yeah. What I'm most excited about is something that has been used for years, and it's called pair trading or statistical arbitrage. It's and what you do basically is that you find two assets in the same category that are co-integrated, and you look for asset combinations that have that are mean reverting basically, and then you create a mean reverting strategy with two co-integrated assets, and that is supposed to be
When you
profitable.
say co-integrated assets, what does that mean?
There we will have to get into a lot of details. I don't I don't have the words to express it correctly, but what you're looking for, it's two assets. Then when longing one and shorting the other one give you on average a return of 0. Yeah. So when something gives you an average return of
So
0, you
right,
will have peaks and
yeah. So they would basically be like
bottoms.
long-term inversely correlated, right? So like
It's
basically, like if you can long one
it's
and
not
short the other
really
one at the same time.
No, it's not really inversely correlated because if they can be correlated and they can go up both at the same time, but
Okay.
they won't go up the same amount. And at some point, they will come close in returns, then they will go apart in returns, they come close in returns,
Oh,
they go
interesting.
apart in returns. I'm not talking about price, but returns, because you
Right.
cannot compare the price of two instruments if the price is too different. For example, compare the price of Bitcoin with Ethereum, and and it's just there's a big gap.
Right.
It won't catch, but you can check the returns. You can track the returns. So that's a completely different thing.
Yeah, no, okay. Thank you for that, because I would have definitely gotten that wrong. And like it's interesting too, is you're using the sort of, um, I mean, I'm still thinking about it as sort of inversely correlated, because you're longing and shorting as a pattern, but it's about that reversion to the mean strategy, right? Like, is that sort of, because you were mentioning that, it's sort of like, as long as well, and the arbitrage of it, right? Like you're sort of arbitraging the whole pattern.
You're not really arbitraging it. It's called statistical arbitrage, but what you're doing is that you're opening a long and a short on two different pairs at the same time. It's not really like options trading. You can use this kind of strategy for options trading, but the math is a little bit different. But yeah, it's something like that. But I'm really looking forward to try this in real life. But what happens is that I'm doing it in a way that I have never done it before. I'm really getting into deep into the math, which is something I have never done before with this kind of strategies. I have a couple of bots that are profitable to some extent trading, but never as profitable as I would have expected. So now I'm really using the math and learning about how a quant fund manages his trading, and this is the first strategy that I'm going to try with that theoretical background, let's say.
Right. No, that's really cool. That's really, really cool. What do you use for bots? I've always like wanted to even just try and make like a simple bot. I've just never really done it.
Well, I have used different things, and normally the execution part I use in general things that are already there. But I think that one of the easiest things to get started is TradingView. You can get started with TradingView and use TradingView to generate signals, and have something else in charge of the execution, a bot that can process TradingView signals and execute your strategies in real life.
Oh,
the
that's
other
cool.
thing, the other way to do it is plain Python or even JavaScript. With the NFTBlocks team, we have built some stuff with JavaScript, and personally, I prefer Python for that kind of things. And I'm researching now, also as part of what I'm doing, some bots that allow you to work with Python.
That's cool. I like that.
And you can also start from scratch and do the full tooling yourself using Python.
I'm cool. I'm not that cool.
Well, you
I
can
like
find
the
a
idea
lot of
leveraging
open
TradingView
source
sounds amazing.
stuff.
Yeah. Except like TradingView is just really, really powerful anyway. You can sort of set, I've done charting with it and stuff, and you can sort of
and they have all the PineScript editor, and you can develop strategies there. And the thing with that is that
what'd you call that?
PineScript.
Oh, I didn't know what that was.
All the indicators and everything that you see in TradingView are created using PineScript.
Oh, okay.
Which is their proprietary language for that. And you can generate signals with PineScript and ChatGPT. I don't know right now, but in the past, when I first started learning that and trying to use ChatGPT to help me, ChatGPT was so freaking bad at writing PineScript that I ended up creating everything myself, because sometimes ChatGPT came with good ideas, very poorly implemented, and I had to manually change a lot, but it was at least a good
we can't all be geniuses, bro. I seriously I still feel like, because I recognize that people that are actually good at this stuff are still like whatever. It's like you might be able to sort of go a little bit faster because it could kind of generate the dumb stuff, or maybe I don't even know if that'd be true. I seriously feel like I had to spend 10-15 years getting anywhere decent in guitar, and I feel like I would have to spend many, many years getting as competent at coding as I now am, just because I don't have to know anything. I could just be like boop boop boop, and again, like I'm gonna run down a whole bunch of paths that aren't gonna work, that you just would never do, because you're smarter and you actually know what you're doing.
I think that's exactly the problem, because I think that if you really took the time to start learning a programming language and start solving problems, learning some basic algorithms to solve some kinds of problems, and then you have the help of something like ChatGPT, or if there's a better tool for developing, I don't know, complement your programming process with that, your performance will really skyrocket. But I think that trying to do it only with ChatGPT
Yeah.
is less than optimal.
Yeah. I'm gonna create an AI agent that's gonna do what you said.
No.
Yeah. It's good. I mean, honestly, we're months away from this just working. I don't know if you've tried the O1 preview yet, but you should. It's
No, I haven't. But
it's the same level jump from GPT-3 to GPT-4. Only GPT-4 to this, maybe more.
and you know, that's good. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I don't like being ignorant of the things I'm doing. I really think that the difference between a professional and a professionist
Yeah.
is that the professional really knows what he's doing and really
Right.
knows the theory and really knows everything. Even if
Yeah.
he uses tools to help me, if he's not using tools to help him, he's a moron. But if he only use the tools and does not know this, there's something wrong.
Yeah.
There's a lot missing there, in my opinion.
No, I think it's right. Like I'm never going to be a professional coder at anything. Like that's just like that's never going to happen. I'm really enjoying just tinkering with it and exploring it.
Yeah, but and you know, that's fine. Just tinkering with it and exploring it, that's fine. But for example, just imagine that you wanted to really go serious into quant trading and use real money for that, and spend your life savings and see them multiply by 2, 3, 10 using strategies that you created. I would never do that, trusting blindly
in
that
anything.
comes from an
Yeah.
AI.
No, that's
It's like I don't know if you know who Dave Ramsey is.
I feel like I should, but no.
Yeah, Dave Ramsey is this guy who's like kind of a financial advisor, and he's always giving good rules of how to manage your money, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But there's one person asking him recently, "Oh, should I trust my money to this AI-based bot that can do that?" And they have had plain answer: no, don't. Your money, you manage it yourself. You know what works, you know what doesn't, you manage your money. And I think he's right. I'm not saying don't use the AI, because you should use the tools to help you. But I would never solely trust my money to a bot that was 100% created with AI without knowing exactly what's going
what
on
it's
under
doing.
the hood. Yeah.
Well, and that's sort of the I guess the theory that I'm trying or playing around with testing, right? I have a suspicion that running sentiment analysis through the collective unconscious knowledge of all humankind is interesting to me. Might not be interesting to anybody else. Fine, right? But getting recent data and getting a sentiment analysis based on that and different variations and versions of that, and running some some basic numbers on it, I have a suspicion that I will, and this system will be right more than 50% of the time. And again, like that, we'll have to track it over like a large number of days for this to be relevant, right? So I'm not throwing any money at anything, but I'm really curious to see if my suspicion about this is correct. And so we develop a system and then we test it, right?
Yeah.
So I think you wouldn't want to take any strategy that you hadn't done before and then throw a bunch of money at it, right?
Not only that I haven't done, I'm sure you have. That I haven't back tested and back tested properly with a good process, with a well-known process, using test data, then using new data for finishing the test before going live, and so on. Then paper trading. I would never go live with a strategy unless it was with very little money.
Right.
If I was spending. Just imagine this. I don't know what's the rate of a software developer in the US. But I know that in the Netherlands, when you are a freelance software developer, you can get rates from 80 to 120 and sometimes more euros per hour. If I was going to throw more than 1 day of work, which is more than $1,000, to a bot to lose it, I'm better off selling my time.
Mm.
So yeah, that's the thing.
That's that's a good way to think about it.
So if I'm going to invest a lot of time to create something like this,
Mhm.
I expect it to give me a return higher than than the return of selling my time.
Me too.
So that's my point. That's why I
Yeah.
think the theoretical background, it's very important, and knowing what's going on there, it's very important for quant trading at least.
Yeah. No, that's I agree. I agree. If you
And
really
a personal rule of mine is never trade the news. That's what I don't trust sentiment analysis
Oh yeah, no,
also.
and like I think there's a significant probability that there's going to be an inverse correlation on it, right? And
Probably
and
because
the system that I'm developing will account for that automatically, right?
okay,
Because
yeah, because
it's gonna evolve based on success, not based on anybody's feelings or whatever, right? It's gonna take the win percentage of every single one of these agents, and I'm not even gonna ask it like what's working necessarily, because I
yeah.
don't care, right? I just want to see if the actual an evolving system has an effect.
But you do care, because that's where I fully disagree with that. Okay, it's an evolving system, but the evolving system will evolve based on the results of the previous iterations,
Mhm.
and needs some feedback, and needs something to go back in to continuously evolve, and that's something that you can only properly monitor and verify that it's happening the way you want if you care about the results and you use the results. Okay, how can I make my agents smarter? Are
Yeah.
these agents developed in the correct way to really make a successful use of the results they are obtaining?
So, um, you know, okay. So what I'm hearing is you're saying that I don't care about the result, and obviously,
No, that's what you
I,
said. That's what you said. That's
right. I'm trying. I just
what I
want to like.
understood.
That's. It
So
seems
yeah.
like the implication is whether it is succeeding or failing. The point to me is that it's evolving. And obviously,
Yeah.
I'm going to be watching how that happens. And if the system is working, it should be increasing its potential win rate over time. If it's not, then I don't want to affect what each agent says. I might say, okay, the way that we've been replacing creating new agents, we could do it better in this way, right? So I
Yeah.
want to like go into the guts of the system, which is kind of the point for me, right? Is not the net end result of whether it's accurate today, but whether the
Yeah.
system is interesting and actually being able to evolve.
Agreed. I fully agree with that. But I think that if you want to make the system evolve in a positive way, in an optimal way, you need to understand what was the output
Yeah,
and why is it failing when it is evolving.
yeah, and that's even just like
That's my point.
oh yeah, okay, and very well taken then. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I have it actually. It was messing around with it yesterday, and I set it up so that it will actually kind of read out what it's doing, because it was like the first iteration of it. It just kind of made a prediction, and then I went back into the logs, and it was like some really fucking weird ass interesting shit going on in there. I'm like, wow, I want to read that. So anyway, once I get into something that isn't going to be completely embarrassing, I'll send you a screen capture of it, because I think it's going to be kind of fun. But yeah, again, like to me, the point is um, really, can I make a system where these things are effectively evolving in some interesting way? Because then
Yeah.
it doesn't matter if it's the price of Bitcoin or deciding between 50,000 quant trading strategies, or deciding which tweet to run or how to get viral attention, right? Like I want to be able to apply it to basically anything.
But there is where I tend to disagree also,
Mm-hmm.
because I think that each of these things that you have mentioned will benefit from having a different model created specifically for that task.
Yeah, AI can create those models.
Yeah, but that's
I mean,
yeah,
that's what
yeah,
I'm doing. I didn't write the system prompts for the agents. It did. I said, hey, write system prompts that are going to do this, and it's doing it every time it drops two agents. It writes two new ones based off of the style of the first three. I don't write the prompts. This is my whole thing. This theory could be proven completely wrong, and I fully understand this, right?
Okay.
My whole thing is if it's a question that an AI can answer, I have to ask the AI. Because eventually I want to arbitrage myself. That's the wrong word, but I want to abstract myself out of the system completely, because I think that's where we're headed. Right. And again, like you're the guy that makes beautiful guitars by hand, like perfectly. Like that's a vibe. And I think you bring that into everything that you do, right? Like the level of sort of artistry and mastery that you want to have around the things that you're doing is one of the things that I love about you the most. And your total, distrust of AI, I think it makes sense that it comes from that, right? Because like it's just the product of your brain and your hands is really important to you. Whereas to me, like I seriously want to see how fucked up this shit can get, how fast.
But I think that the only point that you got wrong there is that it's not that I distrust AI. I simply think that AI is a tool and you can trust it and you should trust it. Otherwise, don't use it.
Yeah.
I trust AI for very specific things. I think that, trust, it's a very, it's a very widely used word.
It's true.
Very little understood, because I think that the word trust is meaningless without saying trust to do what? Because maybe I can say, do you trust Corey? Okay, to do what? To come here every day and do the show with me? Yes, I fully trust him. Do you trust Corey to finish a 42-kilometer race? Maybe
no.
Not. Maybe not, right?
I mean,
so
would I finish it if your life depended on it? Yes. Would I win? No.
Yeah. So the thing is that trust without to do what?
That makes sense.
It's meaningless. It's meaningless.
Yeah, no, I agree. And really, that to me, looking at the sort of, and I guess like my knowledge about, like I've done enough system prompt engineering and stuff that abstracting that away to the AI, I found out that was like you could do it right. Now, would I write them differently? Yes, but the point for me is, if it can, I want it to be able to make it on its own and then iterate to the point where it was constantly getting better and better results. Maybe. It's again, if I've developed the sort of underlying infrastructure, so I'm trusting it to come up with not necessarily the perfect system prompt for any situation, but a plausible one. And it's very good at that, right? Like it will come up with a system prompt that will produce the result that I want it to produce on the back end. Now, is it going to be very, very good? We're going to find out. But can it actually say, okay, your quant trading, I'm going to actually name like every 10th one of my agents is going to be named Juan the Quant. From starting right now, and honestly, watch that Juan the Quant will be the best performing agent of all time, just from the name.
And the conclusion for me of this conversation is that what really matters is the goal. Because for me, if I'm going to spend the time creating something like this, doing something like this, the goal has to be to create a profitable system. For you, the goal is to prove that you can create the correct prompts to get to a result. I don't care about creating the correct prompts. I care about profitability. So the goal is very important here.
Do you want to know how I intend to be profitable with this? Because that is my intention.
Okay.
If this works, I can apply it to literally any business to do literally anything 24 hours a day.
But you are aware that basically that it's becoming a jack of all trades. And being a jack of all trades has always proven to be a bad strategy. Always focus and being the specialist.
I am focused. The thing is, these things can produce plausible results, and I'm going to show that they can evolve. If that's the case, I could set one on, analyze these 10 trading strategies compared to sentiment analysis and just get better at it. And then I can go to bed. Right? Like if this system works, and we're going to find out, right? Because we might find out that I'm just wrong. I don't think I am, but we're going to find out. I seriously think I'm going to be able to apply it to literally fucking anything. Social media, right? Do A/B testing, 24 hours a day. Right? So like that, to me, this is where all this stuff is going. And, I can see how it could go potentially very, very clearly. And if I'm right, I'm done.
Maybe.
And again, like, also I could be full of shit and I could be going down the wrong path. Well, we'll find out. And honestly, like if it wasn't, this was just in the back of my head for a really, really long time. Like, well, really, really long time. Like almost a year. It's not really that long time, I suppose. But it just for some reason, you know, you talking about like, you know, just having a really simple thing where, you know, again, getting into the poly market thing, like just predicting, okay, is the price of Bitcoin going to close up or down the next day? For some reason, that just crystallized everything in my head. So you can sort of build it out as like a small thing again and see if it works, right? So we're sort of you know, MVPing the concept itself. So we could find out that it gets worse every day. I don't know, right? Like that's a possibility.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. What I think there is that you have, you need the right sources of information. That's the real challenge there. You need the correct sources of information, and I don't know if those sources are really available.
That's definitely possible.
Yeah.
I mean, if it never even occurred to me to use TradingView, but couldn't I use that to get historical data?
Of course.
Right.
But you cannot export the historical data.
Oh, okay.
You can use it inside your Pine scripts.
Okay.
You have all the historical data they have. But it's limited
fair enough. I was really excited about doing some back testing, but I've just sort of given up on it because I think I'm gonna have to spend a ton of money to do it. And like, fuck it, like, you know, because I'm developing a database of Bitcoin price right now as of yesterday.
But if what you want is historical prices, you can go to CoinGecko and they have APIs and they can give you all the historical prices of basically all the cryptocurrencies. Yes.
Okay, that's cool. So
that's
I think
part of CoinGecko.
Okay, I didn't know that. That's awesome. I'll have to take a look at that because it would be sort of interesting but I'd have to, and you know, part of this is right now I'm just manually getting you know, headlines from the last few days or whatever, right? So like just putting that into a text block, whatever. Tuttle's got, you know, web scraping so that, you know, we can get it down to the point where I can sort of abstract that out and automate it, but I'm not there yet. I think it'd be really interesting to get like 2 headlines from each date and correlate that to a price and see how it did, right? Like to try and create some plausible framework where you could backtest the theory. But yeah, I'm not there yet. I'm just, again, like I wanted to see if if I can get the infrastructure to work.
But come on, Corey, we got very enthusiastic here with the conversation, and we haven't shared the word of the day with
holy
the community.
shit!
So let's share the word of the day.
Thank you for bringing it home. See if I can spell correctly here. Boop. All right.
Oh yes. Chain?
Nope. Wrong.
Nope. Wrong. Come on, Corey.
I'm fired.
Focus.
There we go. That'll work better. Yes. Okay.
Word of the day. Change. Yes. Yeah, so what else do we have for today besides the fact that we are closer and closer to the end of season 1 with the Backstapper?
Yeah.
And that the next season, I don't know if we can say that it's officially about the Wombat mobs. Can we say
we're pretty close. I mean, they're signaling that they're ready. So if we're ready, we should just be ready.
Yeah. So basically, it's about the Wombat mobs. Yes.
Yep. They're gonna be launching some community tokens and having a blast doing that. Obviously, they'll have some sets of clothing. Kind of review sort of where we're at today. Again, we're changing the way the show works a little bit this week. We're gonna be doing shows Wednesday and Thursday, and obviously today. After that, we're going to be doing this show Tuesdays and Thursdays. We wanted to make sure that we can sort of have a situation where we can create more value in a compressed way. Just because they doing shows, every day of the week, sometimes we just didn't really have a whole lot of news, right? So we wanted to make sure that we can, have the best possible value for people's time. And on the flip side, that's gonna open me up to do a lot more kind of reaching out to ton, games, platforms, whatever. See if we can get more guests. If we do have more guests, that are coming on, we'll just add shows when we need them, right? But just like as a basic framework, it'll be Tuesday, Thursday, and we'll add if we have too many guests. Now,
add as needed. But this week it will be different. This week it's today, Wednesday, which is the end of the season, and Red, yes, season ends and automatically the new season starts.
That's good to know.
And we will also be streaming on Thursday.
Yes,
because we have all the raffles and all of what we have to do to officially close season 1. And have you checked how much were you going to get from the Hamster Combat airdrop, Corey?
Man, I stopped doing Hamster Combat so long ago. I'm assuming it's like nothing.
Yeah, well, even if you would have played and kept on doing it, it's like nothing. So I was extremely disappointed by that. I think that people who are playing the backstabber will get more value out of it in season 1 than people who were tapping for months for Hamster Combat.
Well,
in my opinion,
no, that's going to be really exciting. I mean, that's one of the things that you've always focused on. I think this is just going to make us focus on even more. We wanted to make sure that there's value all the time as well as value down the road, right? And really sort of challenge ourselves to produce that, if we could. And I think we're on a good track to start doing that. But then even like making the app itself useful, right? I think the Hamster's getting into some games or whatever, you might find some sort of inherent good in that. But we really have this vision where we want to integrate some stuff you're actually gonna want to use within the Web3 sphere, right? So you're coming and you're doing the tap thing or whatever, but like imagine all the other things that you might want to be doing with with crypto or NFTs or freaking DeFi or whatever, and you're gonna be able to actually come and do that in a one-stop shop. That it's an amazing idea.
And exactly, that's the real goal for this, and we are already working on that. So I really expect that maybe after season 2, we already see that bags coming soon disappear and replacing that for a useful DeFi oriented mechanic that initially will work only inside the game. But depending on the traction that it gets, we will move it or not off chain. But I hope the traction is good and we can move that off chain.
That's
on chain. Sorry, not on chain, not off chain. Yeah, sorry.
Right. So sort of like having a virtual DeFi or NFT or whatever environment, and then linking that out so that you can like move it on chain and cash out or do whatever you want to do. Yeah, that to me is really interesting, especially like for muggles that want to just kind of come in and mess around and experience what's going on in a gamified way and sort of be, we'll hold their hands. Like, here's your first little DeFi transaction. Now you have this NFT that's a thing, right? Whatever. That's gonna be really interesting.
Yeah.
Especially over time. So
but for this to be successful, guys, we need you to link your wallets. We need you to invite as many people as possible. I think that we should make it more difficult in season 2. We should hire the requirements to get the themes to get started. Maybe at least 5 friends. What do you think about that? Or 4 friends, but 2 friends was not enough when we released the first theme. I think we should go to something like 3, 4. I don't know. Maybe you have a better idea than me, but I think that 2 was too little.
This is where I think that the challenge that we ran into is, I think right now we're still not tracking new friends, right? So
well, it doesn't matter if we track.
This is why I think it matters. Here's why I think it matters. For somebody who's around right now and they have 4 or 5 friends or whatever it is, right? They're kind of already done. Or if it goes up to 5, they only need 1 and then they're good. But somebody coming in might feel really, really intimidated, by that requirement to partake in this. and that's the thing that I want to avoid, right? I want new people to when they show up, feel like they're going to be able to really be part of this, and I want them inviting 2-3 people minimum, right? Just because that's how we sort of get that growth. But I could be bent on this.
Yeah,
I just like that. Like new people is what I want to spend a lot of time thinking about, just because we want to, when people come in and check it out, I want them to get really excited and come back tomorrow, right? And feel like they're engaged, and that they can win.
The problem is that if I already invited all the people that I can invite, and you ask me to invite more, you fucked me. I have to stop playing. Because I can't invite more people. There's I don't know more people, and that's it.
Yeah. So just having that as like a total one time. No, that's a good argument.
Yeah. So I think I have a limit of how many people I can invite. There's people who can invite more, people who can invite less, but we all have a limit.
So how would this?
I'm not going to start making new friends just to invite them to play the backstabber.
Right. I am.
If it was making new friends to drink beer, then maybe I would love to have more friends. But yeah,
especially if they were cool.
I don't know.
Just making like random friends. There's some people you don't want to drink beer with. But anyway, not that we would digress on this show. So yeah, I just want us to think about, you're one of the mobs. You're bringing all your friends in from the from the mob or what have you, right? What's gonna feel approachable for them, and I think whether it's like 2 or 3 or whatever, it's just as long as they're not being put in a position where it's excessively challenging to have them bring more people in, and because it's their set of clothing too, or whatever, right? Like it's their outfit, right? And they're going to be, they want to have people come in and actually get the full outfit. Now, like, should we make it more challenging? I mean, maybe, because it was pretty easy, which is good, I think, because we want people to have that.
It's not that we have to get to 15 friends, but maybe more than 2, going to 3, 4.
Yeah.
I think that if you don't have 4 friends, you should have 4 friends, right? Or maybe 5. I don't know.
I can't argue with that. And there's always a skip too. Like if you really just don't want to do it, you can spend, I don't know, whatever it is, like $3 or whatever the hell it is on just getting it done.
No, because this is something that you cannot buy with rockets.
Oh yeah, you can't, because you need those things. I forgot about that.
The French,
yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah. So we'll see. That's something to fine tune, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to this collaboration with the Wombat Mobs and having them as a part of season 2.
Indeed.
Yep.
Absolutely. All right. So I think that's pretty much all of the updates. Yes.
Yes, I think so. And see you then. See you on Wednesday, guys. And for tomorrow's word of the day, will we have a word of the day tomorrow?
Yeah, let's do it. I'll challenge myself to get. I'll put a short up for tomorrow, and I'll put the word of the day in it, and then I'll get that up on the thing. I'll put it up on YouTube.
Short that you will create, or is that an AI generated?
Okay, so I was going to create it, but now I'm wondering.
No. I think it should be human created. Because to be honest, and not that I don't trust AI, Corey, but those AI generated shorts generate almost this amount of engagement. 0.
Yeah, unless all the hamster cartoon stuff is all AI generated, right?
Yes, and most of the time it's not very engaging.
But they have millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of views.
Yeah, but I have to say that one is better than the one from some other tappers that I have seen. To be honest,
that
one has at least interesting content,
right?
Yeah, so, but I think that human shorts are better.
Yeah, well, and again, like we're already producing all this content, right? So, like, what I'm thinking is, especially we do like the review thing, or if there's like some kind of in StreamYard, it'll actually like pull out it basically will read the transcript, and if there's any interesting things, it'll make a clip of that. And now, like, I haven't really used any of those because I haven't really found that they were, necessarily good. But it's trying, right? So I'm going to look at those and see if there's anything interesting. What my plan was is to basically take the the minute or so where we're given the update, right? Here's this going on Wednesday forward or whatever. And clip that out, and like I want to add some of the videos that we have in there, right? Like the really adorable videos that are going up on Twitter. Like incorporating them somehow, just so that it's not just like us talking, but we could sort of get some cool animations or whatever, and make like a 90-second thing or whatever. And then I'll post that up on the YouTube, put a freaking code word on it, and rock and roll.
We'll see. Okay.
Yeah.
But
all right.
Good for today, and see you on Wednesday, guys.
All right. Cheers, guys. Boink. I'm not going till it thumbs up.
No thumbs up.
Nailed it.